Good evening. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. What's in your dehydrator today? I have potatoes, and more potatoes, and more potatoes. In fact, both of my dehydrators are filled with potatoes. They will be dried at 138, I believe 139, something like that, for about 18 hours. These are extra wet. Potatoes are tricky. You have to get all the starch out, and believe me, there's lots of starch in those potatoes. I cook them first. That's the only way I do them. I cook them. I peel them. I put them in water. I let them stand in water. Then I rinse them, and I put fresh water over it. And I rinse again, and I put fresh water over it. Then I cook them. And then I start the whole process all over again. And you rinse, and you rinse, and you rinse until your water is clear. And believe me, that takes, some time. But if you don't, you're going to end up with black potatoes. Black potatoes taste all right. They still got the taste. But boy, they are sure ugly. Anyway, that's what I've got in my dehydrator tonight. Potatoes. And I just took an order for delivery for potatoes today. And I got 10 pounds of red potatoes. They cost me almost $4 a pound. $4, I believe, for the bag. Let me check it out. $3.99 for the bag. But it also said that I saved $3.40. So those potatoes that I just took today were an average of about $7.50 for 10 pounds. That's 79 cents a pound. That's ridiculous. I am going to take more potatoes, delivery of more potatoes this week, and they will be dehydrated just like these. That's ridiculous. And remember, I don't have access to a Walmart or dollar store unless I drive for 50 miles one way. So that is not an option for me. Another problem is online ordering, and that's what you're going to tell me to do, online ordering. However, now they aren't allowing you to online everything you need. It's pickup only, no shipping. And the pickup is mostly the basic stuff that you would want, that you want in your pantry. So that's not an option either for me. Because if I want to drive 50 miles to pick up one thing, forget it. In fact, the other day I was looking at eggs, powdered eggs. And I put my order in. It was a really good one. I was putting the order in. I put it in my cart. And I went to check out. And, they were within 5 minutes of each other. And the prices of the eggs had doubled completely. Instead of the $30 that I was supposed to be getting, they were charging me $61. Sorry, I didn't get it. I will continue buying my eggs like I always do, even though I have the prices are up there. But as long as possible, I will be buying my eggs, and I will be freezing them, or I will be dehydrating them. So, dehydrated scrambled eggs, I love them. All you have to do is put a little bit of water in them, and you scramble up just like the normal scrambled eggs. They're beautiful. I don't do raw eggs. I don't dehydrate raw eggs. I am a little bit leery on that, but I will freeze them. So anyway, that's my story for today. This week is going to concentrate on rice recipes. Mainly because I'm trying to do, in a couple weeks, I will be doing 2 meals of entirely rice to show the residents of this complex how many different ways you can use rice. We get the rice in our senior boxes, what we call our senior boxes, and that's a box of about 30 pounds, and it has all the basics in it. It gives you juice, it gives you cereal, it gives you milk, then you have some vegetables and some fruit, and then a carbohydrate. You got your protein. This month, I forget what it was, but it has rice. Almost every month you get at least 1 pound of rice. You get a pasta too usually, but the rice is what screws everybody up. They don't. We live in a country, the area of the country, where we had mashed potatoes and gravy and meat. Meat and potatoes is what we lived in. We didn't have rice. The only rice I can remember eating when I was younger was glorified rice, and my grandma made it for all the time for us, for every potluck or every gathering. She always made the glorified rice. To this day, I haven't been able to duplicate that, and my brother is asking me every day, every time I see him, "Have you got that rice recipe down yet?" No, I don't. I do know that she had to use whipped cream instead of Cool Whip. That we know is a fact. Yeah, I'm wondering now if she added eggs to her rice, and she kind of made a rice pudding and then added the whipped cream to that. I don't know. It's going to be an experiment on me anyway, but that's what we're doing. Rice will be our main thing. People, we have a table at the center where you can put the stuff that you don't want and anybody can take it. It's our free table. And you can always bet that after senior boxes come, there's always 3 or 4 pounds of rice on that table because people don't want it. They don't know how to cook with it. That's the way we were raised. We weren't raised on rice. So we don't know how to cook with it. So I am going to come up with two days of meals with just strictly rice. Yes, we'll have meat with it. Pork chops and rice is one. We'll have the rice pudding. We'll have my version of the glorified rice. Not my grandma's version. Anyway, so we'll be doing all those. So I have been looking up rice recipes. So we're going to have rice recipes for the next week. And then the week after that, we'll be throwing in some extras in there. I've got a bean recipe, black bean soup recipe that sounds really good. I also found when I was I'm looking at these old cookbooks, these old church cookbooks that have all these recipes in that have been tried by our housewives for years. And their families grew up on it, and it's their family favorite. And it's also a tried and true recipe. It doesn't call for any of these outrageous, or what we consider outrageous things. Most of the time, it's just basic ingredient that you would have in your freezer or in your pantry. Okay, remember they didn't have freezers back then either, and not like we do. We've got a lot more foods and conveniences than they had back there. So, and I came across this recipe really got to me. It's oatmeal fudge. And, I didn't know you could make fudge out of oatmeal. But it'll be one of my recipes I show you because it's different. And it is something that we use just pantry basics. It's stuff that we would probably have in our pantry. So anyway, that's what's coming up for this week. Next week will probably be chicken, canned chicken. Tuna will be coming up. Beans will be coming up. We dedicate those weeks off for those recipes. I feel a great urge to get those recipes out because of our troubling times. And I just told you about the egg situation where it doubled on me in 5 minutes. So the recipes I'm giving you are all recipes that have been tried and have been true. They fed families for years. And these cookbooks are from 60s, 70s. The 60s, 70s, I got a few in the 80s. But they're the basic cookbooks, not what we have now. And then one week I will devote just simply to seasoning mixes. Or you can make your own seasonings. You don't have to buy the seasoning mixes. Yes, it's easier to buy the seasoning mixes. I have some of the seasoning mixes on hand because if it ever comes to a point where I have to do more work outside or do more work somewhere else, I probably won't have the time to make all these seasoning mixes. So I do have those things on hand. But I also make my own mixes. I also make my own pancake mix. And yes, I have plenty of complete pancake mix. My family thinks I'm crazy on pancake mix, but you can do so much with pancake mix. And I have a cake mix recipe for chocolate and vanilla, I guess you call it. I have those. I have a brownie. These are all hot chocolate. These are all recipes that can be made up and put in your pantry. And you just have to add hot water to them. Or you might have to add an egg or something to them. But it's all basic recipes like you would buy in the store. But without all these fillers, without all these ingredients that you can't pronounce. So anyway, that's what's coming up on my channel. Dehydrating. Yes, I'll be dehydrating all. I've got green onions waiting for me. I have got strawberries waiting for me. And the strawberries will just be cut up and put in sugar and then just laid out on the dehydrators. It won't be anything fancy, but it will be good. And I got them. What else have I got? I got rice. I just did a bunch of rice, herb rice. I got spinach. I got a recipe for spinach. Spinach and rice and cheese. So I've got a lot of projects coming up, okay? I can't remember what else I ordered. I got asparagus. I got Brussels sprouts. All those things are going either in the dehydrator or be frozen. Mostly probably the dehydrator because I'm afraid eventually our power grid is going to give out or be attacked or something like that. So I don't want as much in the freezer as I have. I will keep the freezer mostly for the fresh fruits and vegetables that will be put in there until I can get them dehydrated or canned. So anyway, that's what's coming up. Have a great day. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.